Hi Sol, how's it going?
Good, lovely to be here. Dubai, hot, but really nice to be here.
So Sol, can you walk us through your earliest memories of football growing up? How did your environment shape your passion for the sport?
Oh, my passion is, I'm a street footballer. That's my education from maybe 5, 6 years old to about 11, 12. So back then you have to be very creative. You're playing against older boys, so you got to understand physics as well. And you got to be quick with your mind as well, because obviously they're bigger and stronger. So you got to work out how to kind of beat these guys. But the love of the game, the passion of the game is there to be seen.
Who was your biggest influence growing up?
For me, I would say my mother. The way she just kept going, passionate about what she was doing. Every time she wanted to do a job, she did it really well. So she's part of that passion and that drive as well.
What was your toughest challenge on your path to pro football?
I think the toughest is staying on the path. As a young kid in those type of areas, you got a lot of things that could take you off the track. So you got to be really disciplined from an early age as well. And also sometimes you have to be self-disciplined. You got to almost learn it on the job. You haven't got people around you say, hey, you got to do this, do that, and make sure you don't go off the path. I have so many friends who have been lost to the game, really talented players, and they're just, maybe not strong in that kind of area to stay on the path. And so for me, it's all about discipline and being consistent, understanding when to say no.
Can you describe the mood during the Invincibles season?
For me, it was like any season. We're ready to kind of win the Premiership. We're all up for it. We wanted to kind of regain the title as well. So that kind of pushed us. We didn't feel, oh yeah, we're going to go through the whole season without losing, because no one's ever done that before. And then when it happens, it's just incredible. But it's not then. It's years later when you reflect and you look back, and then you realize the accomplishment and how hard and how many things need to come together for it to work.
So was there a moment you knew that team could make history?
No, because you never know. You never know. I mean, we've been through games. I remember a game against, Liverpool. There's other couple of games we're so close to kind of losing games, and we drag it back to a draw or win the game. So, and even in the last game, Leicester, we go 1-0 down. So it's never over till it's properly over. And you always have to be on your toes. Never, the Roman saying, never rest on your laurels. You've got to, keep going, making sure you're doing everything right, keep a clear head, be on it, do everything, good on and off the field, so you got the best, possible chance of winning the game, or definitely not losing the game anyway. So it's not over till it's really over, and you can see that time and time again. So many guys switch off, and then that's when the inevitable, kicks in, and you hit the bar, you hit the post, and they score a lucky win or score a lucky goal, and then they win the game. You can see it, it happens time and time again. So you have to always, be careful and mind yourself and make sure you don't become too relaxed. And something happens and you get, you lose unluckily, and then that record's gone.
How did life change after the Invincibles season?
They're very clever, England, to make sure some of your records don't get the time it should get, really. We didn't know at the time, we broke a record, but we didn't really know what type of record really deep down, how special, it is. Because everyone starts from the Premiership, but this record went into normal football league, Division 1 back in the days. So over 100 years. And it's only now when you really look back how special, how honoured to be involved, the special players and everybody, the fans, and it was an incredible time that you just can't explain sometimes. You can't put into words because, it's kind of, how did we do it? It's almost magical. It's a magical kind of feeling that, something like that, as we've done it. And we've done it together as a team. I'm never going to forget it. We're the first. So, people can come after and do it. Maybe it might happen in the future, but we're the first, and that's a beautiful thing. It's always good to be the first. Yeah, and I was just, grateful to be a part of the team and be an integral part of the team as well.
People often describe Arsenal's football as a well-crafted art. Could you give us some insight on how that statement kind of resonates with you?
Yeah, I think, there is the the art angle, you've got the physical output, everybody, then you've got the training and the drills that happen in the game, and you've got to kind of recognize those drills, and they help you navigate certain movements around certain areas, around the box, midfield, or whatever. But I think there is an artist to it, because there's an art to it, there's a craft to it as well. When it all connects together and it just flows, it's just, the ebbs and flows of the game, but it just kind of seamlessly moves in movements, and you see players how they interact, and almost, the conscious level kicks in, and it's not all sight, it's feel as well, and also knowing that player is in that position, and you're in the position to execute that pass or execute that shot or whatever. So there is that beautiful art that not many people can operate on that level.
What could you say was some of the most creative ways Arsene Wenger got you guys to train on the smallest details within football?
Some of the things he would do would be like almost just a simple kind of pyramid to play in between the lines. You would have, say, 10 mannequins stuck into the floor, into the grass, and you would have the back four, midfield and forwards, and a goalkeeper. And it was just simple, just play between the lines. Simple, but executed. But all he wanted really is for the ball to be on the ground. It had to roll on the ground. No bouncing up and down. Everything on the ground, through the lines. No bouncing. No clipping the ball left to right. Missing out players. Is all on the floor, on the deck. And for me, that was the simplest thing. But then when you transferred it into the game, it's like, obviously the oppositions are the mannequins. Yeah, they move around, but the more you get through the training, week after week, the more those things become easy to find the gaps in between players and things like that. Obviously, if it's too tight, it's too tight. But you start to recognize the openings quicker the more you train. And that was one of the most simplest kind of exercises, but you speed it up as you get better. But then, as you transfer it into a game, and then you can see the moments, you see the actions, you can see the time. The timing is key as well. The timing of the pass, and it had to be on the floor. No air shots.
How do you feel the team's style of play has evolved since your time at the club?
I think for us, back then you had to get the balls out wide quicker. Now you can literally start from the box and passing from the box. Obviously that wasn't around when I was playing. You had to be outside the box to play out. When I was playing, had to play just outside the box and then go from there, which is a little bit difficult, because if you played outside the box, it gave, there wasn't no 10-yard, there wasn't that position. The forward could really close you down. So you had to really think outside the box. I think it's a lot harder from outside the box. Inside the box, you can actually decide it's too tight, and the goalkeeper can hit it, wide, and he can go off. So that's the biggest change for me.
So how do you see the legacy Arsenal created being personified now?
I think the main thing is the speed, and now they've got really to Martinelli and Saka, winger-wise. We had Perez and Lundberg, slightly different players. They're all effective in their own way. So I think they're definitely on the right track to kind of emulate the type of the philosophy football, the quick football. Understanding how to kind of move players out of position, the overlaps. The good combinations. There is some movements in some games, and they're getting better. It resonates with me especially because it looks good on the eye as well. It's nice. It's a nice football, but it's progressive. It's not just passive kind of football. There's a meaning. We want an end product. It's nice playing really good football, but you have to have an end product, as well at the same time. And I think they're achieving that.
Who on the current team do you see as a rising star, and why?
I think Saliba is definitely one of the guys, I'm just looking at defense-wise, a real star in the making, because, he has the stature, he's about 6'3", he's a big lad, quick, very confident, great on the ball, scored some really good goals, and all he needs is experience and being in that environment and good people around him. And that's what it's going to take, some good people around him, so he keeps his feet on the ground because he's got everything in front of him. He's definitely, obviously the French of seeing the quality and things like that. And I'm sure he's going to be one of the main kind of defenders going forward over the next, say, 5 to 10 years.
What would your advice be to the young talents in the team?
For me, keep trying. Don't allow fear to take over. I think you've got to go out there, be bold. You're young, you're still learning, but go out there. Leave everything on the pitch. Don't kind of do it half-heartedly. Just go for it. You're young, you're strong, you're quick, you're buzzing. You've just got into football on that level. Don't muck it up. Do everything right on and off the field. Career is so short compared to other jobs, and don't waste a second.
What's your impression of Dubai as a destination for both luxury tourism and real estate?
Well, definitely real estate. I think Dubai has benefited hugely with some of the governments and how they run in their countries. And I think Dubai it's a great place, and it's capitalised on it, and it's booming over here when it comes to that. Moving here, I think it's one of the most safest places in the world. I mean, you can't really say that to many, or safest region anyway, and that's a really good thing for people, for families. That's important, and I think if they build them on top of that, it's only going to go from strength to strength. Really, you go to somewhere where things are moving, economy is great, it's safe, education is getting better, transport's getting better. I mean, all those factors. Most cities are kind of clambering for those kind of elements, because those elements are the best things to cultivate and produce a really steady economy, and also retail. And there's some amazing designers and amazing people doing some great apartments here. So, and it's only the beginning.
You got a nice intro into Sobha today. How would you describe the experience so far?
I think Sobha has been very welcoming, but the main thing what sets them apart is the detail and the quickness how they build out some of their projects. But also, the detail is really high on the list as well, and they take care of that. And it's a pleasure to be a part of the partnership with Arsenal as well. They've done an amazing job. They've grown over the years, and they've kept the quality. They've kept the same philosophy as well, community feel, making sure they look after their workers. All those things what happen behind the scenes. You've got all the flashy, all the lovely kind of apartments and things like that. But behind the scenes, they're looking after people as well. So that's nice. That's pleasing to hear as well. And it may be a shining light for other big kind of guys in this game. They're definitely showing the way.
Last question. Could we get a photo with you?
No, I'm only joking, yes.